friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today I am participating in the Spring Showers Bring May Flowers playlist. I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes, but if you are new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and I'm really happy you're here with us today. If you are returning, I am always happy that you're here, so thank you so very much. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I'm going to use this little shovel and rake that I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to use these tulips from MICHALES. Then one of these chalkboard tag signs from Dollar Tree. My chalk Couture transfer, and this is the Live in Full Bloom set. And then I also use this hammered Rust-Oleum spray paint. I'm going to start off by removing the shovel and the rake and the top of the handles. And then I took those out and I spray painted them with that hammered spray paint. While they were drying, I came back in and I sanded the handles down a little bit and then wiped them off and painted them with my Waverly Chalk paint in the color white. Once everything was dry, I brought these pieces in and I took my elephant chalk paint by Waverly and a makeup sponge and I just sponged all around the shovel. And then after that, I took another makeup sponge and my ink color by Waverly and I am just sponging all around that shovel as well. Then after that, I went back to my elephant gray and I sponged in some more it just kind of brings all the colors together, and I love the way this turns out, you guys. It looks so real. So I did this to all the pieces, front and back. Then while those were drying, I took the handles that I had painted white, and I'm using my antique Waverly wax and a makeup sponge again, and I am just sponging it all over the handle, and this makes it look so real, you guys. And then after that, I took some apple barrel nutmeg paint and a makeup sponge, and I'm just going around all the edge of everything. Plus I just go through inside through the crevices, and I am just adding this, and it really does look like there's some rust all over it. And then once I was done with those, I put them together, and here I'm fuzzing my transfer because they are adhesive. We don't want them to be too sticky, otherwise they will stretch the transfer when you take it off. And I am using my chalk paste in the color Meadow here, and I'm going around and coloring all of the leaves. And then I'm going to do what we call the lift method, where we lift it up and then bring it down and finish doing some more colors. And the reason why I do that is because this paste will dry, and if it dries, it will stay onto the transfer and not on your board. So I wanted to finish, and I didn't want that to happen. So then I'm just going to use my Bumblebee yellow for the small flowers and my coral Couture, I think it's called, for the big flowers, and then the letters I'm going to do in white. If you are interested in Chalk Couture, we have a monthly subscription that is $19.99 plus tax. You get 3 paste, an exclusive transfer, plus a squeegee every month. And it is really a great way. If you have never tried it and you're interested in trying it, I would recommend signing up. You have to do it for 3 months before you can cancel, but it is so much fun. And I just love the way Chalk Couture is so easy and looks so high end. So after I had that all done, I hot glued the handles together, and then I'm using some jute twine to go around and just kind of give it that added support. I really didn't want to use the hot glue, but I used that just to kind of keep it in place while I did this, because this will probably be something that hangs either outside or on a door, so I didn't want that hot glue to melt in the sun. So once I had it wrapped, I just tied the ends of the knot, and then I'm taking a zip tie and tying the tulips onto those handles. Then I took some twine and I strung it through the whole of that tag, and I just brought it through underneath that zip tie and tying that in a knot. And then I just put a little dab of hot glue on the back to just keep it in place. If it comes loose, it's not going to matter. So then I took some of this ribbon I got recently at Michael's. It was 50% off, and I got a whole bunch, you guys. I really think I have a ribbon addiction. I need help. And then I got this yellow one too. They were both 50% off, and I'm just making my bows by doing the awareness ribbon and scrunching them in the middle and using some jute twine to connect them. And then I'm just going to hot glue that to the top of that tag. And that's all there is for this. And I love it. You'll have to let me know what you think about this as well. I just think it just turned out great. It's so rustic. And that sign is so pretty. Okay, so I am participating today in the April Showers Bring May Flowers that is hosted by the very talented Mary Beth with mbgraydesigns. If you don't know who she is, please make sure you check out her channel, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And then make sure you check out the playlist. All the videos will be having DIYs that include flowers. So let's get on to the next DIY. So here is DIY number 2. So for this DIY, I'm going to use a can that I have cut the top and the bottom off of. My Plaster Waverly Chalk paint. This napkin I got off of Amazon, and it will be in my Amazon store. Some twine, some Mod Podge, some more tulips, and yeah, that's it for now. So I see this all over on Pinterest, these smashed cans. So I wanted to give it a try. So I'm just using my glue off right there to get the glue off of there from the tag. Then I just start pressing down on the top. And once I had it pressed down some, then I start going in with a hammer and just smashing it in just with the hammer. You just keep pounding on it, and I turn it over and pound on the other side until you get like a pouch. And it's super easy. It was really easy, a lot easier than I expected it to be. Then after that, I went over it with some Mod Podge. That way, since this is metal, it helps that paint adhere better. Then after that, I took my Plaster chalk paint and I give it both sides a full coat. I would say maybe a coat and a half. I just kind of did some touch up. I really didn't do 2 coats. And then I took the napkin and I cut off a little square, and then I took off the backings. This was a 3-ply napkin, so I had 2 plies to remove. Then I'm just using my scissors to go all around the flowers and the pail. Once that was done, I used some more Mod Podge, and then I am just adding that little napkin to the front. And then I'm just gonna get it all on there and then go over it again with some more Mod Podge to seal it. This is such a versatile. I mean, you could use stamps on this. You could use, something from your Cricut. You could use rub-on transfers. There's so many things that you could do with these. And I keep seeing people doing smashed cans, so I had to look it up and figure out what it was, and I just thought it was really cool. So then after that, I took some of the antique wax and I am just going over and antiquing it. I really wanted it to look rustic, and so I'm just going over it and just going over all the edges, and I went over the picture and anything that was white basically, or that whitish color. I wanted to darken it up with this antique wax. And then once I was done with that, I took some of this ribbon I've had for a while. I got it off of Amazon. I believe it is in my Amazon store. And I'm just using a little super glue to keep it on, just because this is metal again. And a lot of times metal and hot glue don't like to work together. So I did use hot glue on the back to keep it in place for now, while that super glue set in the front. And then I'm just using my little spatula thing there to kind of tack it into that glue. Then I took some twine and I am wrapping it around the front, and I wrapped it around and I left quite a bit of a tail at the end, and then I'm just tying a knot, and then I take the longer piece and wrap it around about 3 or 4 more times, and then I had to play with it a little bit. I tested it out the first time and it worked perfectly, and then I forgot what I did. But anyways, I just took the end piece and went around underneath some of that twine, and then just somehow I went through and made a knot. I went through the whole loop there, made a knot, and tightened it so that way we have a way to hang it. Then I decided I wanted to use some beads, so I think I ended up doing like 8 beads on each side, and then I just make a knot and cut off the ends. And then I had a little piece of the floral foam, so I just hot glued it inside there, and I am just putting in my tulips. And I just used yellow and pink because that would match the napkin on the front. And here I had only done 6 on each side. And then, actually I did 10 on each side because then I ended up adding 4 more on each side because the handle was too short. So then I thought, okay, I want to hang this on something. So I grabbed this sign that I got at Christmas time, and I'm just using my heat gun here to help remove that little stain, because I'm sure I will use it in about 4 months, something like that, 5 months, 6 months. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we're almost to that point. But anyways, once it was removed, I'm just tracing this sign out on the paper, and then I cut out the paper, and I am going to Mod Podge it onto the front of this sign. If you're new here and you like what you see today, and you like home decor on a budget, holiday decor, thrift flips, gift ideas, then I'd invite you to hit that red subscribe button and become part of our growing YouTube family. And then let me know in the comment box that you're new here and what was your favorite DIY today. I'd love to know you, or know what you liked, and also get to know you. And then if you are returning, make sure you give me that thumbs up. Actually, anybody, make sure you give me that thumbs up and comment, because that helps my channel grow. So when I was adding that paper on, I added the Mod Podge, and then I don't know if you noticed, I squirted it with water, and then I put the paper on top of it because that helps it not get wrinkles. It worked really well. And then after that was all dry, I put another layer of Mod Podge, but I didn't show that. And then I just hot glued the beads onto that board, and then I'm just making a hanger with my twine. And that's all there was. I was thinking of putting a hook in this board and hanging the little planter on the hook, but the hooks were too long, and so I ended up just hot gluing it. But you could, maybe find another way. I thought about a tack, but that was too tacky. Get it, tacky? I'm crazy. Anyways, here it is. Here's the final DIY. You have to let me know what you think about this, but I love it. I just love how cool that can looks. Okay, if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find my social media account links and links to my other accounts in my link tree in the description box below. And I just want to give a big thank you to Lucy Holly. She bought me a coffee this last week, and I really did appreciate it. And if you would like to have your recreations showcased on my video, just email me some pictures and I'd be happy to share them on here. And you can find my email address in the description box as well. So here's DIY number 3. And this one, you guys, is so funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I saw these on Pinterest, and I was going to do it for Mother's Day, but I didn't have time. And I just thought, okay, I've got to do it on this one. And I think it's so funny. Anyway, so these are the items that I used. I've got those curlers, the cotton ball or the cotton yarn there, and the from Dollar Tree. Those were my mom's. She let me use some. The wiggly eyes came from Walmart. The glasses and the flowers and the pot all came from Dollar Tree, and then that half bead from Amazon. So I start off by painting the pot with my Cashew chalk paint. And then once it was dry, well, while it was drying, I'm taking these curlers and some of the yarn, and I'm just wrapping each curler with the yarn. Now, I would recommend maybe going to Walmart and getting a bigger pot. It might look better. It does kind of look scrunched up, and I thought I was going to use more curlers than I did. I only ended up using 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. But here I just hot glued that little half bead on for the nose, and I marked where I wanted the eyes. That's what I was doing with the glasses there. Hot glued them on, and then I'm just taking some of those fake eyelashes and going around the top of the eyes and the bottom of the eyes, and they are adhesive. I don't know how long that's going to stick. I hope they stick for a while, because it was too small for me to try and put hot glue. I was worried that I would burn myself. I could have probably just put some super glue, I guess. Well, if they come off, I will put super glue on. But then I took a pencil and I just outlined and traced out the shape of a mouth. And then after I had that, the shape that I wanted, I took a extra fine black Sharpie pen, and I am just outlining it with that pen. And then after that, I'm going to take one of my Arteza paint markers, and it's red because she's got to have red lips, right? And I just colored in the lips, and then I am going to take that thin Sharpie marker again and just draw a straight line in the middle of her lips to make it look like a top and bottom lip. And yeah, if you look on Pinterest, they have so many ways of doing this. I just thought, when I saw the one with the curlers, I just thought it was so funny. I had to do it, and my mom loved it. She wanted me to put it in her bathroom. So I did. So anyways, here I am just hot gluing the curlers on around the face, and I just hot glue one. I did 3 on the top, and then I did 2 going down on each side of the eyes. And again, I think it would have looked a little bit better with a bigger pot. You could even use the pot bottoms that you can get and make it look like a neck with a necklace, that kind of stuff. Anyways, here I realized, oh my goodness, why didn't I do this before I did the curlers? So if you ever recreate this, I would suggest putting glasses on before you do the curlers, because it made it kind of hard trying to get the glasses in through those curlers. But I finally got it in, and then I'm just using some hot glue to kind of help keep those glasses in place. They did stay pretty well, but I figured it needed some glue. And Oliver came to say hi to me. He was feeling lonely, and so I had to put him on my lap, and I'll give you a peek of him here in just a few minutes. But here I'm just using some more of the glue on this side. There he is. He came to say hi. He was being a sweetie, and he needs a haircut so bad. Oh my word. So here I'm just filling the pot. I put part of a pool noodle, and I'm filling it with those flowers, but I did change them out with the tulips when my mom said she wanted them in the bathroom because the bathroom is yellow. So you'll have to let me know what you think about this one as well. I just think it's hilarious. Okay, so here's the final reveal of the 3 DIYs I did today. So make sure you let me know which one was your favorite, and if you're going to be recreating any. And again, if you're new here, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, become part of our family, and then let me know what was your favorite. And if any of you guys are going to recreate any of these or anybody's creations, then send me the email. I'd love to share it on here. And with all that being said, you guys, I will be back on Sunday with another video. So until then, have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.